Hello, Jeanette Velda for another project share. This is a notebook that I made for my father-in-law who requested a train notebook. He absolutely adores steam engines. So he wanted a notebook where he could write about trains, keep some stuff about trains, so here we go. He has some mobility issues, so some things inside were made specifically so that it would be easy for him. And I didn't do anything to the cover, and nothing's on there on the front, the back, the side, so that it can be, kind of dragged around and not worry about anything kind of falling off or getting scratched or ripped. So all the fun's on the inside. Open it up. On this side, I used the little embellishment pieces are from a train bundle from, I'm going to get that, Lucky Girl Creative. Haha. And this was inspired by Nick Booksmith, her recent lap book. On one end, she had a little accordion folder, and I liked the idea, so I kind of came up with my own way of making the accordion folder. It's vertical so that he can put in A4 size papers, and sized again so that A4 size paper can go in and out real easy. I like, again, mobility issues, so I want things to be easily grabbed, and so this flips up and is held together with magnets, and you can't see it very well because it's all black, but it's sort of a waterfall down as an accordion, and lots of space for some loose papers. And then starting over here, we discussed how we wanted the notebook to be organized, but in the end, I decided that it would be best to really just sort of leave it open-ended so that it can be organized and then reorganized and then reorganized. So what I did was took the Tim Holtz Tiny Tabs and Tags, made little tabs, and since none of my stamps or anything fit that size, I just drew in the letters and then glossy accented just to give them a little more heft, and so they didn't get dirty and then you didn't see the letters anymore. And I like these because they stick out real easy and can be easily grabbed. And so then what I did was, I'm going to get a plastic sleeve so that these can slide in, but we haven't been able to get that, and probably we'll get it on our way to Berlin to give him the book. So I'm just showing this to you now. In Word, just created a table, all the little letters, and like I said, in a plastic sleeve. I'm going to provide him with a bunch of these. This is just copy paper. This way he can say, let's say he organizes his trains by North America, but then that piece gets really big, so the South America might be really tiny. So then he can take it out and then put another one in and then reorganize. However he wants to do it. And he may organize it once and then decide he likes it that way and keep it that way, and then we're good to go. But this allows him the ability to just redefine these and move things around at will. So in the tabs, 4 of them have pockets for additional pieces that he'd like to put in. The rest are just plain. And they're decorated with ephemera from that train bundle, and then 2 different books that I got here in Germany at a flea market. One organized by country, so it was like Deutschland, USA, South Africa, and then it had a nice image of a train from that country, and I think it even had little blurbs about steam engines in that country. And then there was another book which was basically steam engines through history, and so the history of the steam engine. So it had mostly black and white, so this was taken out of that book. mostly black and white images and diagrams of the steam engine. So if it's black and white, it was pretty much from that book. If it was in color, it was pretty much from the country book. And then everything else is from the train bundle from, and I already forgot the name, from Lucky Girl Creative. Alright, and so I'm just going to flip through because it's really just lots of little images to spark us happy. And like I said, so lots of collaging just to have images. And then on this side of this was the second pocket. Like I said, if you see these little guys, those are from that train bundle. She makes really great little embellishment pieces for collaging. She makes digital scrapbooking kits, but they work really good for doing this kind of collaging work. So like I said, just gonna flip through. This is the fun thing on this page. My wonderful husband, as I was working on this, brought me a chai. And he makes all of his chais from scratch. And so, wonderful husband. He brought it to me, and then between the two of us, we managed to spill it all over. Well, a little bit got on the book, so not too bad on this page. Most of it hit our poor little kitty and the bed. So, but luckily she didn't. It got on the hair on her tail right at the end, so she was fine. Took us a while to corral her so that we could wipe it off. But towards some, it kind of looks like it was meant to be there. So yeah, I'll just call it vintage. It was vintaged. And then this little guy ripped because it got a little too wet, and so I just covered that up with that one. So it's a little warped, so just don't look too carefully. But one way to vintage things, spill your chai all over it. So just flip through here. Wonderful kit. All these little guys are from that train bundles. And like I said, I printed some of them little, some of them big. They're, I believe, PNG and JPEG images, so you can do anything you want with them. And the maps as well are from that kit. So these wonderful maps of the train paths are from the train bundles. Keep flipping. The Orient Express. There are a few that I used from an Orient Express kit, and I'll list that down below. I'm planning on the stuff that I have left over, because from the books, those books were big, so I have a lot of images and things left over from those books, and I was planning on using that together with this Orient Express kit to make some more junk journals. And there's the third pocket. And these little advertisements are also from the Train Bundles kit. And the final pocket. And that's the last of the tabs. So the paper, I wanted to be thick. Like I said, mobility issues, I didn't want flimsy copy paper. Wanted it to be able to, easily turn without worrying about it ripping. So unfortunately, I believe it's either 160, 180 gram. But when you get to that weight of paper, I don't know if it's out there and I just haven't found it, but they don't line. They're just plain paper at that point. So I just found a digital image lined paper and printed it out. And so half of these, so there's a nice pile here for him. Half of them are lined on both sides, and then half are lined only on one side. So then he can put them throughout his tabs any way he wants. This way he can write on one side, have blank on the other, so he can put images, draw, I don't know, whatever he wants to do, or again, have it so that he would have lined paper on both sides. So there's this lined paper. And then recently I got an eBay win of several thousand tea cards. And in amongst those were some wonderful tea cards, also cigarette cards, and just some, I guess, trading cards, but there were a lot of wonderful trains. So as part of that set of tea cards that I got, there were also a few sleeves. And it just happened to fit exactly the number of the tea cards that I had that were trains. So as just a nice little bonus in the back of the notebook, I put these little tea cards so we can enjoy them. And then just some collaging with some of the images on the back. And it's just flat because the way this is a D-ring, so everything sits flat onto the back. So there's really no point in putting anything there. But when you close it, you have a nice spot there for the accordion fold. So there is my train notebook. I hope my father-in-law likes it, and I hope it's usable. That's definitely one thing that my husband and I tried very hard to, when thinking about how to put this together, just to make sure that it's really easy to use for him. So I hope he likes it. I hope you like it. So like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.